Have you ever kissed anybody on this panel? Yes. Oh, good.
Mr. Sinatra?
You got the same name as mine?
If you were a teenage girl in the 1960s, your bathroom looked like a science lab run by Barbie. Sprays, gels, powders, and a whole lot of questionable decisions. Let's rewind to 10 beauty trends that looked ridiculous, right up until you gave in. Number 1, Psssst Instant Spray Shampoo.
I did it in 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
I did it in 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
3 minutes and 23 seconds.
This stuff promised a miracle. Instant Spray Shampoo was the original time saver for girls who'd rather sleep 10 extra minutes than wrestle with a sink and a brush. Just a few spritzes from that silver can and, boom, you were clean. At least clean enough. It worked by soaking up oil and pretending like you hadn't gone 3 days without a real shampoo. Which was pretty convenient, considering that washing your hair back then was practically a part-time job. You had to set your rollers, sit under a bonnet dryer that sounded like a jet engine, then tease, spray, and pray. With psst, all of that went out the window. Sort of. The trade-off? It smelled like you emptied a chalkboard eraser onto your head and then sealed it with aqua net. And if you wore dark clothes, forget it. You'd spend half the day dusting your shoulders like you had dandruff made of baby powder. Number 2, the Pixie Cut Rebellion. Before Mia Farrow and Twiggy made it cool, the pixie cut was considered scandalous. Who would willingly chop off their hair that short, on purpose? But once it hit the magazines, it spread like aqua net in a small bathroom. Girls lined up at the salon asking to look like they just got back from swinging London. Some pulled it off effortlessly. Others spent a few weeks crying into their Bonnie Bell compact. But love it or hate it, once you went pixie, you weren't blending into the crowd anymore. And that was kind of the point. Number 3, the Yardley Slicker lip gloss obsession.
Look, now you can take your own swinging tour through London Love Country on the Yardley Slicker Dolly bus.
This wasn't your mother's lipstick. Yardley's Slicker lip gloss came in those sleek little tubes with the shiny cap, and it was everywhere. Sticky? Absolutely. Windy day hazard? Without a doubt. But girls loved it. Loved the shine, loved the flavor, loved how it made them feel like Carnaby Street had landed right in their purse. One swipe and you were part of something modern, something groovy, even if half the time your hair got stuck to your lips and you had to pry it off. Number 4, the 1965 Lady Sunbeam Flare. Hair dryer, pretty in pink, loud as a jet engine.
At home or away. Want to know the secret? For having a new, exciting hairdo.
This wasn't just a hairdryer, it was a lifestyle. The Lady Sunbeam Flare came in a pastel pink suitcase that looked like it held a makeup kit or maybe a secret stash of love letters. But open it up, and there it was, a full-on portable salon, complete with a long hose and a soft vinyl cap that inflated like a marshmallow bonnet from space. You'd pull the cap over your rollers, connect the hose, flip the switch, and boom, instant wind tunnel. The thing puffed up like a Jiffy Pop hat while the motor roared to life, humming loud enough to drown out the Beatles on your transistor radio. You couldn't hear a thing, but you looked fabulous doing it. Number 5, Dippitydo Setting Gel.
This year, fashion loves the big, big curl. The big, big curl loves Dippity-Do. Dippity-Do.
Before mousse and fancy volumizing sprays took over the shelves, there was only one name in the game: Dippitydo. This pastel-colored goo came in squat little jars and looked like something that belonged in a snow cone machine. It smelled faintly like a mix of school glue and grandma's floral sachet, and that was part of the charm. You didn't use an applicator, you didn't need instructions, you just dipped in with your fingers, scooped out a cold blob, and slathered it on like frosting. Then you'd twist in your rollers, wrap your head in a scarf and hope for the best. And to be fair, it delivered. Once that stuff dried, your hair could survive a tornado warning. Humidity, gym class, convertible rides, it didn't matter. Your curls stayed locked in like they had union contracts. Of course, touching your hair afterward was like petting a jellyfish dipped in cement. But softness wasn't the goal. Hold was. And Dippitydo held like it had something to prove. Hey, quick question. How many of these videos have you watched without subscribing? Be honest. If this isn't your first stroll down memory lane with me, go ahead and hit that button. It helps more than you know. And if you've got stories, photos, or just want to see what everyone else remembers, come find me on Facebook. It's like a class reunion, minus the awkward buffet. Number 6. Painted on Twiggy lashes. Now this trend? This one took commitment. Instead of just loading up on mascara, girls actually drew extra lashes under their eyes with eyeliner, straight lines, multiple. Like spider legs, only intentional. Twiggy made it look edgy. Most of us just blinked and smeared it. But for a brief moment in the mid-60s, girls everywhere were doing their best impression of a cartoon doll. And they kept doing it too, until smudges, sweat, or a surprise sneeze gave them away. Number 7. Heavy liquid eyeliner with a wing sharp enough to threaten someone.
Fashion goes to your eyes.
There was no halfway with eyeliner in the 60s. You didn't line your eyes, you framed them. Thick, jet black swoops that extended halfway to your temples, the kind of lines you could see from across the cafeteria. And let's be clear, these weren't soft, blendable lines. No ma'am, this was the era of felt-tip precision and hard stares. The goal was to look mysterious and mod, not like you just rolled out of bed. And if your cat eye was crooked, you added more liner. Always more. Number 8. White lipstick. The blank canvas.
The Cody people have dreamed up a very original idea. A new lipstick. Well, anyway, it colors like lipstick. But it shines like a glosser.
Some trends defy logic, and white lipstick was leading the parade. Girls in the 60s wore it like it was the height of sophistication, even though it made their lips look like they'd been flash frozen. We're talking chalky, matte, and paler than the glue you weren't supposed to eat in elementary school. It didn't enhance your features, it erased them. Paired with ghost pale foundation and mod spider lashes, the whole look was less romantic lead and more stylish apparition. But that was the point. You weren't trying to look warm and kissable. You were trying to look like you belonged in a Beatles album insert. And somehow, it worked, at least for a while. Lipstick that made you look borderline hypothermic was the thing. It's a miracle anyone landed a date. But back then, cool trumped cute every time. Number 9. Frosted eyeshadow in shades that defied nature.
Watercolor eyeshadows to open your eyes wider. Max Factor discovers the aquafactors. You discover them too.
Frosted blue, frosted lilac, frosted mint green. The goal wasn't subtle, the goal was sparkle. Girls swept these shades all the way up to their brows and didn't think twice. If your eyelids didn't shimmer like a disco ball, you weren't doing it right. Bonus points if it creased halfway through the school day and left you looking like you'd been crying glitter. It didn't matter. It was glamorous, it was groovy, and it was on every drugstore shelf across America. Number 10. Tortoiseshell compact mirrors and lipstick cases that doubled as status symbols. Let's talk accessories, specifically the kind you pulled out in public with a little flair. Compact mirrors were more than tools, they were tiny declarations of cool. And if yours had a tortoiseshell case or a gold clasp, even better. Same went for your lipstick tube. Refillable, shiny, maybe with your initials engraved if your parents were feeling generous. Girls didn't just fix their makeup, they performed it. At the bus stop, in the bathroom, sometimes mid-conversation. And somehow, no one questioned it. Looking back, the 1960s were a wild ride for teenage girls and their makeup bags. It wasn't always pretty, but it was never boring. You tried things your mother didn't understand, your brother made fun of, and your future self would raise an eyebrow at, assuming you hadn't plucked it off. But that was the magic of the era. You weren't afraid to be bold, to mess up, to sparkle, to smear. You embraced weird shades and strange textures, and whatever London said was in that week. And even if some of those looks didn't age well, the confidence it took to try them, that never goes out of style.